You guys ever listen to Alex Jones? Never.
I used to listen to him when, say 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I used to think a lot of the things he said were true, and like most of these people, there's half-truths and truths and a half that hide the real truth. So some of the stuff he said I thought was correct at the time. Looking back now, I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him.
Really? Like what stuff was he saying that turned you off?
Oh, I can't remember anymore. I think he's fear-mongering. There's always a lot of that involved in making people scared, and a lot of unverifiable stories. Again, hearsay, things that you can't prove for yourself. So that switched me off at some point. I guess I just matured out of it.
I see where you're coming from. I think when it comes to Alex Jones, he's a friend of mine. I've been on his show a couple times. And there's people that think he's a shill, and he's working for the Israel. He's protecting the Jews and all that stuff. And who knows what's true? I don't know him that well. I don't know everything about him. But one thing I do know for sure is when I hang out with him, when we hang out, we've been to Vegas together, hanging out. He is the exact same way he is on his pod or his show. Conspiracy theories 100% of the time. He's talking about, he never gets tired of it. He's the exact same person all the way through the whole weekend. And I'm just eating it up. I just want to hear about different conspiracy theories. And he's on he stays away from UFOs, and he stays away from flat earth, and he stays away from like the Holocaust and all that. And I think if he's not a shill, I don't think he is. I really don't. I just think that everybody is an expert, like all these conspiracy theorists. They spend all this time on certain conspiracy theories, and that's their baby. And they don't really want to talk about any other conspiracy because it might discredit what they put their life into. Like if someone's really into JFK and he knows everything about JFK, he might not really, he's not going to get into other conspiracy theories that he's not well versed in, because it could discredit the point he's trying to get across. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I can understand that.
You know what I mean? Because
I've never met the man, so you've got a better take on that.
With Alex Jones, it's like there's people out there that believe, we've been raised and conditioned to, you can't question the Holocaust, and you can't, you'll be anti-Semitic.
It's a thought crime.
It's a thought crime. In some countries, you can get thrown in jail. You know how that exists? Like we've been brought up with, you better not say anything about the Jews, or we're going to ruin your life, right? You guys aware of that? It worked, right? Gav, it worked, right? You got to be careful about that stuff, right?
That's slavery.
Yeah, as far as I know, there's lots of countries where you need to be very careful.
Yeah, you got to be careful. It could, even in the United States where even in the United States where you can't get thrown in jail. I mean, you're not going to get thrown in jail, but if you make enough noise, they can come after you and ruin your life, right?
Sure.
They've done it. So if you're really into flat Earth, or maybe you're really into JFK, you're trying to prove that, or 9/11. And you're trying to convince someone who's not into 9/11, you're trying to convince them into 9/11, it wouldn't be a good idea to start getting into your beliefs on the Holocaust right off the top of the bat, right? Because you ain't never going to get to 9/11. They're not going to believe you. You understand what I'm saying? As soon as you start talking about what happened in the Holocaust and what you believe, then your 9/11 speech ain't going to work. And your JFK speech, your Iran-Contra speech is not going to work. Your pedophilia sex trafficking ring is not going to work. People criticize Alex.
Is that your rationale why Alex Jones doesn't discuss the flat Earth? Or
yes, because if he's trying, he's working. If you're working on I know someone personally that's really, really high in a certain conspiracy theory. This guy's basically. Man, I don't want to give it away, but he's a total flat earther. But he cannot talk about it, and he tells me, please don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. I got to get my message through. He's on a mission. He's got a certain mission. And if he brought up flat Earth, he's going to lose. At this point,
is it Joe Rogan?
This point,
Are you uncomfortable to say that? I'm sorry.
At this point, flat Earth, Holocaust stuff, it still will turn people off right away. Right away, you're not going to be able to get your point across. You know, and there's people that handle their business that way. They won't bring up certain things because it will discredit them in the other thing that they're trying to push. And I think with Alex Jones, he's working on the conspiracy theories on the, you know, Charlottesville was a false flag, Boston bombing, whatever, getting Trump. He's on a mission to stomp out Hillary, right? He's on a he's on a mission to stomp out the Democrats, the liberals, right? So let's just say he didn't believe in he thinks. Let's say deep down he knows that North Korea is just a distraction and they're not going to launch any missiles and all that. He knows that. But he'll use that because people believe that he has nuclear weapons, he's going to launch them. So he'll use that to go after the Clintons, because then he'll say the Clintons are the ones that sold them the nuclear weapons, but he knows they probably don't even have nuclear weapons. So he's got certain things that he pushes to get his agenda across, instead of trying to sit there and spend an hour trying to convince people that North Korea don't even have nuclear bombs and they're just a big distraction. So my point is, I think when you compare what Alex Jones is saying on his show compared to all the mainstream media outlets, there is a lot of bullshit. You know, that nothing's 100% true. But even if he's 50% right on and 50% he's exaggerating on some shit and he's just fear mongering, it's way more the truth. There's way more truthful stuff on InfoWars than there is in any other these mainstream media outlets. You understand what I'm saying? So he's like the gatekeeper. Like, if you could believe in Alex Jones conspiracy theories and Hillary and Bill Clinton and their shenanigans and their gangsters, that's what he's saying. I mean, Alex Jones constantly says the Clintons are gangsters, they're corrupt. He's constantly, every day about that. He's going on and on
if
about.
If he goes flat Earth, he'll be out of business.
Exactly. And if at this point, people are really sensitive about flat Earth. They get really, really mad. So right now, it's like, he's thinking, why would I get into UFOs and the fucking moon landings and all that shit when I'm trying to get the Clintons out of politics? You know what I mean? So maybe he is a shill. I'm not saying he isn't. I don't know if he is or isn't. He's cool to me. He's a friend of mine, and I known him, and I partied with him. We went out, we drank, and we had a good time together. And he's the exact same guy, same voice. He talks about he can go conspiracy theories all night, without. He'll wake up in the morning and call you, and then have breakfast and still conspiracy theories. So my point is, I think that. Everybody needs to understand that everyone's got their own little mission. There's a lot of levels. It's not just flat Earth. Flat Earth is huge, and I'm all over it. You know me. But I understand that people have other agendas. I understand that, and just because they're not in line with your agenda doesn't necessarily mean that they're getting paid by Israel and their shills. You understand what I'm saying?